Ravina, my dear, I really wish you a very healthy, truly joyous, because you're a very joyous person inside, that kind of life, full of creativity, new experiences all the time. So the juices, keep flowing and life is alive. Wish you that, with the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Um, all I can say is that I'm just so thankful. I don't believe in God, but I believe in forces of nature. And I'm just so thankful you've come into my life. So truthfully thankful that you've come into my life. Um,
It's reciprocal, my dear, because I've also discovered you, you know,
and,
full.
I was thinking after going on this long journey of Kathak, completing by the way, my book is complete.
Oh, fantastic. And
Yesterday.
timing, right?
Yes,
Great time.
complete
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So I discovered so many perspectives to my tradition, yet to be collaged together, researched, and so much more. But it also made me realize that from a practical purpose, how much we need to go back to the tradition to understand what we can recreate and
Mm.
maybe use the lost nuances, traditions, content. Like today, I discovered while writing my essay, the last one on Jaipur Gharana, they had in rhythm, just Nadindinda, 16 beat, they had two Gat Bhav, the entire story only enacted in rhythm with gates to change
Mm.
characters, etc.
Mm.
The story of Chand Chakori.
Mm.
Huh. And the mythological bird, and who cannot live without, and it's such a beautiful thing of Chand Chakori, or the idea of Vishwamitra in Kathak transcending with Menaka coming and challenging him, and then how he recovers in order to evolve as a spiritual person. And these were very long narratives without one word spoken, only
Mm.
on the 16 beat and creating
Mm.
the different breaks in the 16 beat. What an
Mm.
art! What an art! And
Oh,
I,
it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. I saw, I mean, the Chand Chakori, it's in Sanskrit, it's called Chakravak, the same
yes,
word. So throughout Kalidas's all the entire poetry, uh, there is always for longing. There is always because there is another aspect of Chakravak. The Chakravak lives on the rays of the moon. It survives on the rays of the moon, but it's also sitting on a talapatra. It's sitting on the lotus leaf.
is it
Okay,
Talpatra or Kamalpatra?
Kamalapatra. Sorry, Kamalapatra is sitting on a lotus leaf, and it uh, it is there is a lotus leaf like this, you know, and his mate is on the other side. He can't see her.
And only in the morning he gets to see.
He keeps on crying for her, looking for, crying for her. And in some poetic, illusions is used, the Chakravak dies of longing for the mate. Okay. And in other, he, sort of finds her. Kalidas doesn't take us there. It just takes us to the longing and the art, kind of accroche inside the agony of loss and so on. So he depicts that beautifully in his poetic, words. But I have used this metaphor, of the chakravak, sitting on the go back. So you can see my hands. The chakravak slowly descending even further. I don't know how much you can see. Slowly descending on the lotus leaf, which is slowly floating in the water. He descends and he looks for his mate. The moon has disappeared in the floating clouds. It's dark. The bird is looking for its mate, agonizing, looking for its mate. And dying.
So beautiful. Can there be
So
a happy ending also?
yes, it depends on this what you want to do with it.
So, and when you came, when we met and we started working, immediately my mind cleared as to what I can give back to the tradition,
Mm,
in whatever way. And I've repeatedly told you, I cannot do this because it's so new to me of
mm,
how to look at literary content or poetic content and translate it as dramatic content with the
mm.
fudge of Kathak vocabulary. So thank
Yes.
you again. Thank you for this wonderful gift that you've given to me.
And it's a new experience for me because I have not really worked with Kathak dancers. I just worked with one, but I didn't do much because I I just I gave a twist to her story so that it became more dramatic, but I did not guide her or do anything. I just spoke about the story she told me. So she did whatever she wanted to. I don't even know what she did. But mm, that's the only experience I've had with Kathak. You know, I've seen a lot of Kathak all my life, you know. So I have an idea how the form moves. I don't know the intricacies, the kind of traditions that naturally people like who have also studied and are scholars. So there's a different perspective added to just practical dancing, the tradition. It's also knowing the tradition. It's also researching tradition. So there's a whole thing. So for me also, this is a new experience because when I say something, I have a vision in my own form, Shilpa Natanam, how I would do it. But I don't say anything to you. When you do it, the same vision transform in a different way.
Hmm.
You understand?
So,
The
Didi,
same.
today when I was returning, I went back to our last recording of the Whispering Ruins, the
Huh.
Rasgulla piece. And I realized that there is so much of work to be done. And it
Mm.
was not done because everything was so hurried and we didn't really have the time. So I don't even want to see that recording because it's such an unfinished work of that
Yes.
time.
Mm.
So I just wanted to, before beginning this class, I wanted to just revise what I listened to in the first 10-15 minutes of the kind of instructions that you were giving to me in dealing
Mm.
with the nature of this
Mhm.
wisdom.
Mm.
The first was when the creation of the world happens, which is the big drama.
Mm.
And you have guided me that I have to establish the diagonal way of creating the wall. But then you also create the idea, the ghosts within the wall. So this first is creating the wall, but then it is that once I reach, so we have to decide at what point in time of drawing the length of the wall will it be sufficient enough to start the ghostly narrative? Because the wall has two identities. One, it is the shape of the wall that needs to be established, but the other identity that it is carrying multiple of ghosts within it. And while I was hearing this, it was very clear to me how you were able to guide me to understand not mixing up too many narratives. For instance, wondering what this historical building is or whatever. So just keep to the narrative of the character of the wall, period. And the story to create that context that it is a wall carrying ghosts. As simple as that. So it's the shape of the wall and how do you create the ghosts. Now, in terms of creating the ghost, there were 2 or 3 layers with which you told me, which I was not able to pick up because everything was so hodgepodge in terms of time. One was the movement of the hand itself, how it shakes, how then it transfers, the vibration transfers into the body, how that then transfers to the feet. And it stops so that I get time to recreate mystery, amazement, surprise, and also the confirmation that that kind of character of the world exists. So, how much time do you take is to establish the shape, and then the second identity of the world, which is that it is carrying these unseen voices. It was when I was hearing of it today, truly it was a very intricate dramaturgy that you were conveying to me, which needed to be, I have to give very strict instructions to my accompanists before we come to this part of taking the ghosts out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that we are revisiting this, I give you some options, okay? Because you know your form and you know which is a better way of communicating with the audience, okay? So we have, because we're coming from the wings and we want to go to, we are using the diagonal length of the stage, or space, let's call it space, okay, to uh, establish the wall. ठीक है ना? The diagonal length of the stage. So you're coming like this at an angle with your hand on the wall. ठीक है? Now the option I'm giving you is this. The wall could be like this. समझे? In other words, ऐसे अगर न हो, just let's rethink कि कथक के लिए वो कैसे होगा, ठीक है? अगर ऐसे न हो, समझो कि वॉल ऐसी है, आप साथ ये सामने आप ऑडियंस है और ये ऐसी वॉल है. You're on the other side of the wall, so your this hand then, and you will go from this part of the stage directly this way. Okay? Okay, which allows you to dance in this space, the first 1/3 of the stage, to bring out the ghosts and all that. So you establish the wall in the 1/3, the front stage, जिसको कहते हैं, not front, but front stage को पीछे वाला उसको front कहते
And
हैं.
you use the length and breadth. You use the breadth.
Breadth. Okay. So what it does is that you will still come from the wings, but instead of going diagonally like this, okay, you go straight like this. ठीक है?
Hmm.
ओ, ऐसा, हाँ, ठीक है? हाँ,
Hmm.
हाँ. So उसमें क्या होगा कि आप वो घोष सब उतरेंगे, यहाँ निकलेंगे,
Hmm.
ठीक है ना?
Hmm.
So you can use the frontal part of that to establish them, which I think that Kathak, the way the form is, at least my thinking is that it will give you a little more freedom instead of having to imagine that wall all the time. है ना?
But at the same time, I feel that there's a greater dramatic sense of that diagonal.
Yes,
Because when I'm taking out, see, I only took out two musicians in the beginning for this part because we didn't create the Shehnai wala, we didn't create the Kinkari, Kanjira walas, etc. So we took
yeah,
out only two because the space, everything was so hodgepodge. So if I have the diagonal, then it allows me so much of space to create the different characters, establish them. Whereas what you said in the narrative in your last recording, and I'll share that with you whenever you want, that if we use this, then what happens? And if we use this, then what is the advantage? You know?
yes.
And I still would choose to do it diagonally.
Okay, fine. I mean, I just
And
wanted to give you
because
a
I
choice.
also feel that if you're taking out the characters, you can keep using the last wing again and again to
Yes,
get the different characters out.
right, you
But it
can. Yes,
also will allow you to use the middle wing to get
yes,
another character out.
yes, yes.
From that side only, from the side which you're coming, you can use two wings to create the characters.
Yes, yes. So the flow of characters will be diagonal from uh, from the end part of the where the wing is, where you come out from there to the front part, we will be close to the edge of the stage. Okay. So ये पूरा जो है उसमें से तुम back and forth you can go.
Exactly.
Characters.
And it's so much like I'm also thinking about your dialogue when we were talking about side profiling and the drama and the clarity, and which I also brought in Birju Maharaji's own idiom of creating side profiles, ye nahi, ye nahi, ye, in that sense. तो जो साइड प्रोफाइलिंग है वो डायगनल में ज्यादा संभव है.
Yes, I saw today just by chance. I saw Birjuji do, it's much late in his life, must be more recent, before he passed away. Uh, Two things, which were just with footwork. There was nothing, there was no hand gesture at all, but just face. And every time, and he was telling a story, in both. I forget now what it was, but I saw this in him. He did automatically, okay? He always turned this way or that way. He was never just, जब बात करते थे लोगों से, तो he was front. But when he started performing, वो शुरू करके ना दादा दादा वो ऐसे शुरू करके फिर जो जब करते थे तो ये था उनका प्रोफाइल वाज ऑलवेज एन एंगल.
राइट. और उसकी वजह से दो चीजें हुई थी जो आपने मुझे समझाया. सब लोग ना समझे इसको ये कवर कर देता है, जबकि यू नो जबकि नजर यहाँ से जाती है, पर ज्यादातर लोग अगर ये करेंगे तो फिर you hide the beauty of your torso.
Yes. So he just उनके हाथ भी नीचे रहते थे हमेशा. They were not that high. They were नीचे रहते थे. So you're not hiding your upper part of the body.
That this way.
और ये क्या था? The other thing I saw is that in a way, जैसे मैंने कहा था ना कि हमारा जो ब्रह्मरंध्र है, जो सीधा
सूत्र.
सूत्र, तो सूत्र की तरह उनका ये जो हाथ था, ये हाथ था, वो was acting like a sutra for him. You see, in terms of balancing and posture and the body and the footwork, there was kind of a alignment, unstated alignment that because of decades of dancing just became natural for him, you know. But I could see that it was not just sahaj, it was not just सहज रखा हुआ है और पूरा बॉडी बॉडी तो कर ही रही है, बट मैंने देखा कि उनका हाथ है ना, the hand also spoke without doing anything. To me it spoke, okay, because of the balance shifting of the body weight. You see the way he was doing the tatkar and whatever footwork he was doing, okay, ये पकड़ता था, ये जोर से पकड़ो और नीचे लाओ, पुट इट अवे फ्रॉम योर बॉडी अ लिटिल बिट, यू नो, राइट ब्रेस्ट जहाँ है, हाँ हाँ, और उसको पकड़ो, उसको जोर से पकड़ो और अब तत्कार करो. It has a, and the whole posture of the body looks so beautiful that way.
So there was another.
Majestic वो है थोड़ा, हाँ हाँ, वो इतना अच्छा लगता है. I really love that about him.
It was the other thing which I was saying ki, and this I am going to Lucknow actually, I will want to learn this. जो वो करते थे, उनके फादर करते थे महावत की गत. The balance of the feet was such, जो पैर चलते वो तो गजगामिनी की तरह चलते हैं, पर जो कटी से ऊपर है वो हौदे की चाल चलता है. वो
घोड़ी की,
हौदे की चाल,
I see.
वो हौदे की चाल चलता है. हाँ, तो ये महावत इसको पकड़ा है. तो
हाँ,
you know, and apparently his father was a master on this Mahavat, and it was taught to him by a person called Vikram Singhe. But the other thing which I learned and I still have to see is the walk of the sword. And वो तलवार खींची, पर उसकी जो चाल होती थी वो हाथ में लेकर तलवार की चाल होती थी. ऐसा
इस तरह रखी है, like this.
हाँ, इस तरीके से हाथ से कर. दीदी, can I just take one moment?
Yes, yes.
So, Didi, should we begin with the wall?
Yes. So now let me just discuss a couple of things that are in my head about the wall. Musically, is it possible for you, for the sarangi or some string instrument, or I don't know whether you use some instrument, flute, to create a mysterious sound, slightly kind of, कैसे कहते हैं, घबराहट जैसे होती है, ऐसे थोड़ा सा ऐसा, you know, something that is ऐसे कुछ, some such thing, huh? Think about that. It's just there, very faint. It's heard like Tanpura ka wo, but it's not superimposed.
Asa plays it. He plays it beautifully. It wasn't heard this time क्योंकि वो sound acoustics नहीं थे. But Khasa plays it beautifully. That sense of mystery.
So, I imagine it to be more repetitive because there is something, a repetitive sound that catches those notes are truly, they create a mood rather than elaborating.
I
You
will tell
understand?
you. I will tell
Huh.
you. I will tell
Think
you.
about that. I'm just putting this in your
So
head,
does
this
that,
idea.
do we open the curtain raiser with those sounds?
Yes, yes. But then as you come and you begin to जो पहला जो हाथ है जो लगाते हैं सिर्फ because it is just I have no idea about anything है ना हाँ कुछ you just touching the wall okay हाँ so अभी इसमें ना नवीना ये हाथ है ना आपका ये हाथ तो है बट आपका जो हाथ जैसे चलता है वो ठीक नहीं चलता है
अच्छा.
I think you should actually go to IIC or some place और वहाँ भीते हैं ना उनकी उन पे आप जस्ट कैजुअली वॉक करके हाथ ले हाथ हाँ हाथ चलाओ हाँ बट नवीना ये ऐसे भी नहीं
अच्छा.
ऐसे आप क्या करें यू पुटिंग योर हैंड स्क्वेयरली ऑन द वॉल लाइक दिस एंड
Oh,
देन ड्रैगिंग इट those fingers
okay. Acha, you are saying that very casually.
हाँ
Acha.
exactly क्योंकि you're not you have you don't should yeah हाँ हाँ तो मतलब आप देखेंगे बीच बीच में फिर यू नो इट्स काइंड ऑफ ए हाँ it is much more a little more casual than putting your hand on the wall and
Yeah,
dragging
yeah,
it.
I understand. अब
Yeah,
जैसे ये है,
yes, yes, that's right. Now इसमें क्या करना? Slight bend to the back, only slide. ताकि आपका जो हाथ है ना, इसका जो एक लाइन है, वो दिखेगी जो ऑडियंस है उसमें. आप सीधा रहेंगे तो वो नहीं होगा. So
अच्छा.
you bend slightly back,
हाँ.
okay? And your hand is going to be forward, not too much, not there, just here, you know.
Okay.
और ताकि आप यहाँ वहाँ देख सकती हैं, यहाँ भी देख सकती हैं. So you don't have to turn like that.
हाँ.
It is हाँ exactly थोड़ा नीचे लाइए थोड़ा शाबाश that's it okay so it is because हम ऐसे तो नहीं करते ना हम तो ऐसे करते जहाँ हमारा मुंह है वहीं हम करते हैं so that is the thing now your fingers have to be very eloquent okay here in the on the wall so उबड़ खाबड़ है यू नो थोड़ा सा बीच बीच में नेवर ओवर डू एनीथिंग जस्ट बीच बीच में वो ध्यान खींचता फिर रुक जाओ ओके वो रुकेंगे तभी ध्यान खींचेगा ओके
हम्म.
देन यू स्टार्ट वॉकिंग यू वॉकिंग स्लोली ठीक है
हम्म.
And फिर क्या होता है वो पहला होता है वो धाधा फर्स्ट जस्ट द साउंड यू नो some faint sound is coming from the wall so your hand just stops there, just arrests itself, totally stops. And then you turn to the wall and look. Huh, very good. Turn to the wall and look. Now you put your whole on it. Huh, huh, okay. And puzzled look, puzzled look, okay. अभी हाथ को आगे रखेंगे तो आपका मुंह दिखेगा ना हाँ राइट सो व्हेन यू डू द puzzled look ये क्या है थोड़ा सा जस्ट क्या है यू नो हाँ नहीं कुछ नहीं था सो यू कीप गोइंग ठीक है ना लाइक दैट राइट एंड यू देन अगेन यू हियर दादा okay now you are definitely you heard it so it's a little louder sound you know so now you definitely heard it so then you're looking, हाथ वही रखिए, you're looking around कि कहाँ से तो नहीं आया. हाँ, now you definitely, now आप अभी वॉल को, अब आपको लगता है कुछ है, so you now just go with your fingers, because अंदर से vibrations you're feeling, and let them, नवीना, इमेजिन कि वाइब्रेशंस आपके पूरे हाथ में, बताइए नहीं कुछ, सोचिए, वो ऑटोमेटिकली बॉडी करेगी. सोचिए वो वाइब्रेशंस आपके उंगलियों से सीधे आपके आर्म में जा रहे हैं, कंधों में जा रहे हैं, आप सुन रही हैं उसको. ठीक है, ये अभिनय होता है यहाँ, है. हाँ, तो ये है ना, ये ऐसे ऐसे सी चलती है, देखो सीधा. हाँ, vibrations. So that, okay, and then um, as you go, now you're hearing more of the sounds. Some बज रहा है, दा दा दा, कुछ भी ऐसे, कुछ थोड़ा सा कंटिन्यूस हो रहा है. Now you definitely, so what you do now, here's what I want you to do, is that you hear it, now you turn around and you rest against the wall, your back, ऐसे चौंक के वॉल के पास नहीं आ जाते. हाँ, और यू लुकिंग अराउंड कि कहीं से तो साउंड नहीं आ रहा, यू नो, बट नाउ डोंट मूव. वो अभी ट्रांसमिट इज इट इज ट्रांसमिटेड इनटू योर बॉडी. यहाँ आप थोड़ा सा तत्कार करने लगो विदाउट लिफ्टिंग योर फीट, विद, हाँ नहीं, झूमिए मत बिल्कुल ही. वो खाली पांव होते हैं ना आपके कथक में, ऐसे ऐसे एकदम
हाँ,
करते
दिख
हुए,
दिख 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 दिख.
ऐसे ऐसे कुछ करते हैं ना.
हाँ, तो दिख 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 दिख.
हाँ, without
हाँ
without lifting anything, है ना. तो
हाँ,
that is just
दिख
like
दिख दिख दिख.
yeah, that as if your body is resting against it, and that vibration is
दिख दिख
conveying,
दिख दिख.
या इन योर बॉडी. हाँ, यस. हाँ, तो वो क्लियरली करिए ताकि लोगों को पता चले कि दिस वाइब्रेशंस आर कन्वेइंग थ्रू योर बॉडी. तो थोड़ा सा हिलो, बस आगे पीछे, और कुछ नहीं. नॉट नो डांस, इट इज जस्ट
दिख
दोज
दिख दिख दिख.
वाइब्रेशंस, एंड एवरी
दिख दिख दिख.
वाइब्रेशन इज चौंकाना वाला है एकदम. ये क्या हो रहा है, यू नो. सो
हाँ,
आई थिंक दैट that touching the wall with your back would be a definite sign that this is now something here. Up till now, suspicion थी, doubts था, ऐसे नहीं पता था. But when that sound comes and it is coming through the angles, then then she just rests herself immediately against the wall and looks around कि कहीं दूर से तो नहीं कुछ आ रहा है ना. Okay, हाँ. And you can either put your hands like this against the wall, और नीचे ऐसे होते हैं ना, ऐसे नहीं रखते हम. हाँ, और रेस्ट करते हैं. सो आप अपनी पोजीशन बना लीजिए. हाँ, दैट्स गुड, वेरी गुड, आई लाइक दैट, आई लाइक दैट. ओके. हाँ, सो नाउ यू लेट दैट, जो करती है ना आप उसको करिए. हाँ,
दिख
हाँ,
दिख दिख दिख.
हाँ, हाँ,
दिख 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 दिख. दिख 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 दिख.
हाँ. अब रुक जाइए, अब रुक जाइए. सी, टेक नेचुरल पॉजेस. ओके, वही रहिए, डोंट मूव. हाँ, एंड दैट देयर इज अ साइलेंस ऑफ लाइक 2 seconds. ठीक है, देन इट स्टार्ट्स अगेन एंड मच मोर, ज्यादा. ठीक है
दिख
ना.
दिख 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 दा. दिख 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 दा. दिख 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 दा. दिख 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 दा. दिख 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 दिख
So
दिख दिख.
now you turn around. You see, now at some point you turn around the wall. Now you know it's coming from the wall at this point. So
Okay.
you turn to the wall, turn to the wall, turn to the hand, and put both your hands on it. Yes, okay, on the wall. Don't put it there, put it here. You're here. Yeah, yeah. Good. So because it proportion wise, ये मैं कह रही हूँ आपको, है ना.
हाँ हाँ.
ठीक है.
But it's diagonal, so ऐसे होगा.
हाँ, ये होगा ना, ये ऐसे ऐसे है ना वॉल आपकी.
हाँ
बिकॉज मेरा आपका उल्टा हो रहा है ना, आई एम हियर.
हाँ.
सो सो मुंह के सामने है, ऊपर
हाँ
नहीं, मुंह के सामने है, ठीक है।
हाँ
आपका मुंह ऐसे नहीं होगा, है ना,
हाँ हाँ
ताकि expressions are also seen that way better.
हाँ
हाँ, very good, ठीक है। अभी इसमें है ना, ना आप आप थोड़ा सा go along the wall in that दिग दिग दिग, तो कुछ बनाइए उसका। हाँ हाँ हाँ, और शिफ्ट करिए ना, ये मतलब हाँ, कुछ
So देखिए
स्लाइडिंग मोशन। हाँ 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 हाँ, एग्जैक्टली ठीक।
है ना?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल। हाँ ये
हाँ
ठीक है।
हाँ हाँ
ओके, नाउ now it is definitely a sound. Okay, so now I think you, at that point the sound has become quite big,
big
it's pretty big, because we have
right
done slowly bringing it out, and we
right
definitely now placed it in the wall, by
right
our touching wall, by our touching wall, by looking at the wall. तो अभी
right
कोई इसमें डाउट नहीं है कि
right
ये वॉल भी है, और वो कहाँ से आ रहा है।
ठीक है
Got that? Okay,
ठीक है
this is what I was rethinking that part, है ना?
right right
So becomes very clear.
right
Hmm? Okay, all right. Now, so now you sort of, what is a transition for you for them? I
so
can't.
now so once we have established that there is the true character of the wall. One is that it's diagonal, and the second thing that it is with what it is holding certain beings within it. ये जो
Yes,
हो गया, अब
yes.
वो पीछे हटती है लड़की
Hmm,
और
hmm,
धीरे धीरे
hmm.
साउंड आती है धगिन धिनक धिन इस तरीके की साउंड आती है and the
हाँ,
transition then comes when the first character, two characters, and the processional characters
email.
start emerging from the wall.
Okay, so we are now imagining where you are
So,
placed.
Didi, just to tell you, these are the instrumentalists, and the nritya part has not yet come. So, the three or four characters that we need to create to bring. Now, what Odon had made me do, the change on site was that he made me go around the, once I, that ye kya ho raha hai, ye kya ho raha hai, he took me to a corner to watch कि ये क्या हो रहा है, and then communicating to the audience. He had made me do that part, which was because he wanted to use the jutting out of the wall. So he made me do that there because the performance space is there. That the wall was a bit zigzag and the picture of the monument was there. So I didn't have to establish, which I didn't quite like because it took away my power of creating. It was too much of either it was, you know. So, but it was very clear that when I went to look like this and then drew back and then spoke to the audience, that was something which happened naturally because of the way the wall was
So
there.
I would suggest something else, not something else, but one of the things you can do is that you can get up on your toes
Hmm.
and see whether there is anything behind the wall.
Okay. So,
At some point, you face the wall, Navina.
suppose
You,
the screen is my wall for now.
हाँ,
The computer screen is my wall for now.
okay.
So,
हाँ, अभी put both your hands on the top of the wall like this, as if you're leveraging yourself up. अभी ऊंचा जाइए, कुछ है, और चिन्ह को ऐसे करके देखिए, कुछ है, then drop, यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं है, and just shake your head, just to yourself, you're just saying this to yourself, ये यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं है, like that, ठीक है। So we have done that. Now I don't know whether you want to do that. That's
no, I was just describing to you what happened.
yeah.
There. But since we
Yeah,
have a straight wall, there's no scope of.
yeah. You can do this kind of looking, you can do in the ताल also, आपके मृदंग वाले के साथ, मतलब उसके साथ, धा, धा, बस 2 बार, ज्यादा नहीं, हाँ, है ना, हाँ, now
हाँ.
shake it, no one is there, अपने आप को ही, हाँ, ये तो कोई नहीं है, यहाँ
Do
कोई नहीं
I
है,
talk to the audience?
no,
No.
हाँ,
So,
you can, but don't rush your gestures then, यहाँ तो कोई नहीं है, don't, over there, कोई नहीं,
अच्छा,
इतना
so
ही
देखिए,
बात है।
तो
हम्म,
एक
हम्म, हम्म, कोई नहीं है, हाँ, हाँ, good, that's it, हाँ,
अच्छा,
but that's it, but that should come before you touch the wall and वो continuous sound
हाँ,
जहाँ आ रहा है ना, उसके पहले, पहले जो पहले पहले आता है ना, वो धाधा धाधा धाधा, अब धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है, वहां
तो
आप इसको
ये वाला
लगाइए,
कर सकते,
हाँ,
उचकना. ठीक है,
right,
ठीक है.
हाँ,
हाँ.
so now we have reconstructed this, that you come very casually touching the wall at the face level, okay, and then you hear something and your hands go quiet, okay, your hands go quiet and you stop. Did I mean, is that, did I hear something? No, just continue, okay, and feel dha again. So you look at the wall then, because until that point you're in the garden or something, है ना? You're not. Then you start looking, and then you do that. You whole अभी जो हमने बात की ना
ठीक.
choreography.
Then you said कि ये हुआ,
हाँ, हाँ.
ये
फिर
हुआ,
वो,
and
हाँ.
then you go back, you
Yes.
go back on the wall.
हाँ, हाँ. नहीं, इसके पहले आप उंगलियों से करती है.
उंगली,
Remember?
उंगलियों का वो हुआ
हाँ,
धड़कन,
हाँ.
गिरकर.
और then it's coming through your whole arm. तभी you put your hand flat on the thing, okay, on the wall. And you can even do that if you like, हाँ, but now it's definitely there. और ये करिए थोड़ा सा, यहाँ से बीच बीच में, हाँ, और यहाँ से हिलाई, हाँ, once in a while, like धक्का लगता है ना, जैसे, हाँ, 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 ऐसे, हाँ, okay, so it's definitely coming, then put another thing, and then it's both are coming, then you go against the wall, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था, ये हाथ ऐसे, वो भी वाइब्रेट कर रहे हैं, आपकी पूरी बॉडी आप तत्कार में करेंगे ना, वो
दिख
तीर
दिख दिख
वाला,
दिख
हाँ, हाँ,
दिख दिख
हाँ,
दिख
हाँ,
दिख
हाँ,
दिख दिख दिख
पहला वही खड़ा होके करती हैं,
दिख 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 दिख
हाँ,
दिख दिख दिख.
हाँ, हाँ, don't jump too much, don't jump too much, you have to थोड़ा संयम रखिए, बट जस्ट बॉडी को एक्सप्रेस करने दीजिए, बॉडी को, मतलब नॉट लाइक दैट, बट शोल्डर, ये शेक पूरा ऊपर टाप्स लो, ये है ना, ये शेक है ना, ये करिए शेक, ये दैट, बिकॉज ये शायद नहीं है,
नहीं,
बट
but tell me, how do you do this? So shoulder shake, Didi, the technique of doing.
आप यहाँ रखिए, और जस्ट गो अपर बॉडी, लीव द अपर बॉडी लूज, प्लीज लीव द अपर बॉडी लूज, now da. Okay,
You know,
you
my
can
backside is moving. This is not.
backside, yeah, backside doesn't move actually. It needs practice, it's Navina, है ना? You have to isolate your body, upper part and lower part, है ना?
ये जो dismember की जो technique is so important.
Yes,
How,
it is.
and it is all about weight shift as well.
Yes, it is also.
तो प्लीज टेल मी, जो आप डिसमेंबर कर रही हैं, टॉर्सो को भी आधा काट रही हैं, यानी कटी के ऊपर कटी के
हाँ।
ऊपर
हम्म।
काफी हिस्सा आधा कट रहा है, जिससे
हम्म।
कि ये जो बख्श है ये
हम्म।
ये मूव
पहले ऐसे ये करिए पहले, हाँ। अभी इसको लूज छोड़ दीजिए, अपने आप को करिए। पहले तो आप डिलिबरेटली कर रही थी ना, वो मत करिए। अभी लेट जस्ट पुट द शोल्डर्स बैक एंड गो एंड इंक्रीज द स्पीड एंड देन जस्ट डू कंपन.
Oh, it started moving. It
It
started
will.
moving.
Okay.
It started because I held my backside and I just moved my.
One second. Hello. Okay, Thomas, I'm in a Zoom. Can I give you a call a little later?
No, I'll call you. I'll be going to India today.
Oh,
I'll have some time in the airport once you reach, maybe about 4:30,
okay.
something like that.
Okay. Okay.
I'll call you from there.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. हाँ, तो हाँ, बट पहले ये अभी डेलिबरेट है ना, अभी इसको इनवॉलेंटरी करना है.
कर दूंगी. कर दूंगी. शायद ये चीजें होती है जब कोई गुलगुलाता है, पर यू डोंट सॉर्ट ऑफ जैसे ऐसे करते हैं, कोई गुलगुलाता है तो फिर ऐसे होता है.
ये सात्विक भाव है ना, सात्विक भाव, विभाव सात्विक भाव है, लाइक गेटिंग
एथलीट.
गेटिंग क्या कहते हैं उसको, लाल होना गाल, आंखें
हाँ.
फटना,
हाँ.
आईब्रोज फटना, यू नो हनु जब रोते हैं ना, तो हनु भी वो होती है, मतलब ये होती है, सो दैट ये सारे सात्विक भाव है. तो ये अभिनय में बहुत यूज करते हैं हम लोग, है ना. एंड दे आर पार्ट ऑफ द नाट्य शास्त्र, मतलब वहीं से
No,
हम.
I understand, but यही बात है ना कि ये जो टेक्निक्स हैं, so it's all very well to go on to the main narrative, मगर ये जो छोटी छोटी चीजें, they are so important. वरना आपको अभिनय कैसे आएगा जब आप पूरे उपंग ही नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं, because
But
it's
that's why there is no reason not to use it at all. Just saying कि हम को सिखाया नहीं
did you
जाता.
find this in your training of भरतनाट्यम, क्योंकि ये जो उपंग के
ये
कथकली में
अपना
क्या कथकली में होते हैं.
कथकली में होता है, वहां वो ट्रेन करते हैं इनको, बड़ा लॉन्ग ट्रेनिंग पोर्शन होता है. बट हम मैं हमको किसी ने, आई वॉज नॉट ए कथकली डांसर एट ऑल. और मोहिनी आट्टम में नहीं करते, पर कथकली करते हैं, तो कुड़ी आट्टम में करते हैं.
Because they shake themselves. यहाँ पर the way they shake themselves is
बट
amazing.
उनका सब यही रहता है. कथकली इज ऑल फ्रॉम अप हियर,
हाँ.
मुद्रास, अभिनय एंड अपर स्टांस ऑफ द बॉडी. लोअर उनका बहुत ही प्रिलिमिनरी होता है, मतलब इट्स सो रूडिमेंटरी दैट इज
हम्म.
नॉट इवन वर्थ टॉकिंग. एंड दे हैव दिस ह्यूज स्कर्ट्स ना, सो वो कुछ ऊपर, इट्स ऑल अप हियर. ओके, तो वो फॉर्म.
Interesting the way the grammar has developed for so many languages.
And that's why, because they emphasize just the upper part of the body and face and mudras, they developed a very complex and very detailed vocabulary of communication that Kathak didn't, that even Bharatanatyam didn't, that Kuchipudi didn't. None of the other forms developed to the point that Kathakali did in telling Katha. Kathakali is the art of telling story. So वो वहां से हुआ. सो हम लोग, मेरा is because I kind of, my gurus taught me standard stuff, जो ऐसे गुरु सिखाते हैं, बहुत अच्छी चीजें, but still within the जो भरतनाट्यम में चल रहा
मार्गम
है.
जो आपका
हाँ,
है.
ये सिखाया. But then I left that, in the sense कि I began to do things on my own. तो मैं ये चीजें अपने आप सीखी हूँ, ये किसी गुरु ने नहीं सिखाया ये.
But
और सिखाते भी नहीं है,
this
सिखाते
is
भी नहीं
just
है.
so amazing, because but as we are talking to bring out these various emotions,
Yes.
learning the potential of your body to such an extent, which
So
you are
what
not.
what I'm telling you, how I reasoned. So I'm able to tell you the reasoning behind it in every move. But that is reasoning how I reached to that. So I'm just sharing that over the long period of time that I reasoned things out and figured out how I want to do it is what now I'm telling you. But Mari training from Kittappa, Dandavata Pillai, these are greatest gurus. Kittappa is gone, Dandavata is gone, Kalanidhi Narayan is gone. मेरे सारे गुरु चले गए हैं अभी कोई भी नहीं है because they belong to that generation, you know. They were the last of the gurus of the great tradition. Okay. Now what is left to people like me?
You are a
Next,
guru, Didi,
yeah,
but you see,
next,
the point is,
yeah, but the next, but not the tradition because in the sense हम ऐसी family से आए नहीं ना.
yeah,
We
but
came
you
from,
know, the point is key. This is a dilemma with all the traditions that
yeah.
all of us, I learned from Maharaji in the middle of his career. He was 60 or
Ah,
55, 60, you know,
mm,
that kind of, or 45, 50 in his middle age. He was
mm,
speaking
mm,
and
mm,
he was investing his energies on two things, his own solo and
mm.
creating cloned bodies for his choreographies.
Yes.
Individual molding of aesthetics uh, was something, and he had so much to give, Paki Pakai Kheer, that
Mm.
we were busy digesting that in one sitting he would give 20 of
Yes.
the same kind of phrase or movements or whatever, that
Right.
he said, okay, I've given them the quantity. Now it is up to them to relish and to develop it further. But
Mm, mm,
I think a lot of the students got caught in the fact that he was using them in the choreography. So the
mm,
individual signatures could never come out,
mm,
you
mm.
know. So even for all the performances, he was pre-recording the entire performance for them, giving it to
Ah,
them on a platter. So when I use the word upaj, it also means like you're giving me, but then when I reflect and I record it, um, I have to develop it in my body. You cannot give
yes.
it to me like this, you know.
No, it has to be you have to own it.
You have to own it because the way my body will work, maybe it doesn't work with my structure. Maybe the technique I absorb is not correct or whatever, you know. So you have to rework it, and just as you rework the entire repertoire.
Yes.
The
Yes.
point we both are making is that we are the last recipient of the great gurus.
Yes. That's right. And so this whole thing that I'm telling you now, Abhina, is nowhere near whatever the gurus are, whatever they may have taught. For example, Rama or XYZ or Malavika or etc. You know, they have taken and gone wherever they have gone with it. Okay. My gurus were even older because I'm much older to them. So my gurus were older and they did not indulge in any kind of explanation. Just बैठ के ही बताते कभी कोई खड़ा खड़ा भी नहीं होता था you know. तो बहुत सीखे मगर बहुत मिला but it was like a treasure trove. Now what do you do with that? Either you can keep on repeating that more or less or you can do something with it. So I went with it, you know, I went out of it in a
Well, I
sense.
hope with your help, I can take my flight, baby. True.
चलो तो फिर
So
so what
I have to practice this kampan, which
yes
will come into my body.
yes
So we are here, we are touching
yes
the wall, and today
yes
we just end with this wall creation because this is
okay
most important.
yes
So I'm walking in a very normal manner. Then Tata, I mean, just Tata, did I really hear something? No, no, nothing is there. And we keep going on. I mean, I'll go through, I'm just doing fast forward.
I got you
Yeah, and we are going fast forward. And then when it comes next, then the hands and the fingers start moving. And we invest in creating that pause of, because what I have gathered from your training establish one by one. So the
Yes.
second thing which we are establishing is the play of the finger and the vibration of the wall. Then once it goes, then it goes, and then I just come back and then I put both my hands. When I put both the hands, then I stop, and again the sound comes, and then with both, and then I shake the ghungroos, and it goes dig 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 dig
Mm.
dig 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 dig. I move back,
Mm.
and then I go to the wall.
Yes.
And
And if you rest against the wall.
I rest a bit, and then it goes dig 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 with using my shoulders. Dig 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 dig, and then I move dig 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 dig,
Yes.
and then I turn around, and then I
Mm.
touch the wall again.
Yes.
And when I
Yes.
touch the wall, then as it moves and it goes faster and louder, then
Yes.
the kampan starts in the shoulders,
body.
which is what I
Yes.
need to work, right?
Yes.
And
Right.
then
Right.
it goes, and then it's everything blanks out,
Yes.
and then my eyes start following. ये निकला, वो निकला, ये निकला.
हाँ, इसमें क्या करिए now just to continue and you can stop wherever. ये जब हो गया ना आपका and you're right in the front of almost the front 1/3 of the stage because you come to the end of the wall. So all this dig dig ये सब आगे होगा audience के पास होगा. Then you turn around completely.
Hmm.
Okay, looking at the first booth coming out from the end of the wall on the other side.
On the other side.
Other side. वहां से नगारे का आवाज या कुछ ऐसा बड़ा लाउड साउंड जो कुछ होगा वो निकलेगा तो वो आप टर्न करके वहां देखिए एंड जस्ट योर हैंड जस्ट दैट डोंट एक्सटेंड इट लाइक दैट बट जस्ट आश्चर्य से हाँ ये
हाँ.
और थोड़ी बॉडी थोड़ी सी आगे ऐसे वो एक हाँ ये है ना हाँ ये क्या ओके ठीक है लेट योर हैंड स्पीक ये क्या don't even do that just let us Navina the technique is ये भी नहीं करना you know but ये क्या
अच्छा.
हाँ ये क्या हाँ और जैसे क्या है ना करना थोड़ा सा हाथ आगे जाता है
अच्छा.
हाँ हाँ you got it yeah
तो
you
ये
got it
करके और
हाँ
ये.
हाँ फिर blackout
हाँ, फिर blackout.
black and you are doing you're bringing out the
नहीं,
ghost
फिर आपने कहा था कि
हाँ
पहले सारे लोगों को आने दो, अपने आंखों से दिखाओ. ये
हाँ
भी निकला,
हाँ हाँ तो
ये
हाँ
भी
ठीक
निकला,
है
है ना?
यस
तो
यस
फिर
यस
ना दिन दिन ना दिन दिन ना दिन दिन ना दिन दिन ना. And then black.
यस राइट
Is that okay?
वेरी गुड यस वेरी
Is
गुड
that
यस
okay?
एब्सोल्युटली यस
हाँ.
दैट्स गुड
फिर
वेरी गुड
ना दिन दिन खत्म हुआ, blackout. फिर आपका आया धागे, दिनक धिन्न धागे, दिनक धिन्न. So I turn around, I retreat into the wall. Now I'm no longer the sutradhar. Now I
दैट्स राइट
become the ghost because that's too repetitive that I've already shown that so many people. Now this one is, now
दैट्स
the
इट
ghost is coming. The
या
first one.
या
मूंछों पे ताव देते हुए.
हाँ हाँ सो
हाँ,
पहले
ढोल. ढक ढक ढक
हाँ
ढक ढक ढक, या तो नगाड़ा बजाते हुए. ढक ढक ढक
हाँ
ढक 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 ढक.
आई थिंक नगारा इज गुड और उसमें बॉडी थोड़ी सी पीछे क्योंकि वो यहाँ रखते हैं ना नगारा तो
ये
नेचुरली टू बेंड बैकवर्ड्स इन ऑर्डर टू प्ले
ये
है ना yeah, that's right, yes.
है ना?
और ये ऐसे लकड़ियां वो पकड़ी होती है ना उनकी, तो
हाँ।
the wrist, just a wrist action, just an opposite da 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 da,
Da
yeah.
da 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 da
Yes.
da 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 da.
हाँ
And so बीच में should I
हाँ.
do that?
What is that? What are you trying to say?
जैसे वो फूला हुआ है क्योंकि वो घोस्टली है, तो मैंने सोचा
अच्छा.
मैंने सोचा जैसे गॉलीवॉग्स आते हैं ना, मतलब I was imagining, you know.
Let's think about that for a moment. ये कौन है? It's for you, I think, not me. हाँ. Right. I don't know about that, Navina. Okay. Let's kind of table that a bit in the flow of things, how it looks.
Okay, because this is it just came out of my mind, you know, जैसे toy soldiers वगैरह आते हैं.
I think we should क्या करते हैं? So we have to decide to we
चार
want.
कैरेक्टर्स, चार
हाँ.
कैरेक्टर, कोई दुबला है, पतला है, कोई फूल गए हुए गाल हैं.
हाँ.
बस क्योंकि हमने तीन औरतों के कैरेक्टर तो बना दिए, एक तो छोटी लड़की है, मटक मटक के आ रही है. हाँ. एक जो है बड़ी सियानी, अपने आप को क्या समझती हैं, बड़े ऐसे करके आ रही हैं. हाँ. दूसरी जो है वो थोड़ी सी लूज है, और मैं लूज नहीं, मतलब थोड़ी
I
सी
got.
उससे चंचल है. और जो छोटी छोटी लड़की है वो तो ऐसे करके, अब दूसरी वाली आई है वो हाथ रख देती है उसके. क्यों? यू नो, ये आपने बताया था कि वो कह रही है मैं देखूंगी, मैं देखूंगी, तुम क्या समझती? तो वो कहती है एक बात में, ये क्या समझेंगी, यू नो. पर ये तो तीन कैरेक्टर्स हमने लड़कियों के, मगर चार, अगर तीन चार हमारे म्यूजिशियंस भी हैं, उसके कैरेक्टर को भी तो बनाना पड़ेगा दीदी.
So what I was thinking was this, कि पहले जैसे बैंड में कैसे थे, पहला जो एक रिदमिक का चलता है ना, उसको आप
वो
पहले लाए.
जिया बैंड. हाँ.
हाँ. तो वो रिदम एक लग जाती है, वो रिदम का. तो वो तो अपना बजा रहा है, जो भी बजा रहा है.
वो
उसके बाद, हाँ, उसके बाद वो देखेगा और कैरेक्टर्स निकल रहे हैं, वो खुद ही भूत ही देखेगा दूसरे कैरेक्टर्स निकल रहे हैं. ओके. और वो आप
लड़का.
ना सिर्फ आंखों से करिए, डोंट इवन डू एनी ऑफ दैट, या
हाँ
बिकॉज
ठीक है.
he is playing that thing. ओके. तो
हाँ.
अभी, हाँ, अभी निकला वो, he should be a different, he should be ढोलकी वाला.
ये तो ढोलक वाला, ये तो वो है ढोल वाला.
ढोल, हाँ. तो पहला ये तो नगारा बजा रहा था, ठीक है ना?
हाँ.
ठीक है.
हाँ.
सो ये दूसरा आएगा ना, वो कूद के आएगा और बजाएगा दादा 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 दादा
अच्छा.
दादा, और फिर पकड़ेगा रिदम. हाँ. हाँ.
हाँ.
नहीं, ये ऐसे भी ना करिए, ऐसे रखिए पाँव, बिकॉज इट हैज अ डिफरेंट स्टेटमेंट. हाँ, as opposed to this to dancing.
ये ठीक है.
हाँ. हाँ.
हाँ.
साइड में है ना, ये सीधा है, ये साइड में है.
हाँ,
ये
ये
करिए.
देखिए, ये देखिए दीदी.
हाँ. राइट. राइट.
हाँ.
ओके. और वो उस तरफ झुक के वो
हाँ.
धा 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 जाता. हाँ. धा 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 धा, वो कहते मैं भी आ गया हूँ, ये कह रहा वो, है ना? हाँ. सो बट वो बजाने में नहीं कर रहा है, वो आंख में दिखा रहा है कि देखो देखो मैं क्या बजा रहा
वो
हूँ.
दिखा रहा है. हाँ.
हाथ
हाँ.
से करिए. देन थर्ड वन, वो डफ होता है ना,
ढप या किंकड़ी, कंजीरा.
जो भी कहे, खंजीरा है ना, उसको बोलते दादा. हाँ. दादा. अभी उसमें आप ये करिए कैरेक्टर, द तक दिंदा, तक दिंदा, तक दिंदा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. सो इसका वो बॉडी का वो होना चाहिए. हाँ. ये है ना, देखो नवीना, आई एम स्टैंडिंग स्ट्रेट, ओके। ये डफ है मेरे हाथ में, जो भी चीज, खंजीरा, ओके। ये बजाया, अभी देखो बॉडी अवे फ्रॉम दैट। हाँ, अब बजाओ, तब वो दिखेगा। हाँ, बेंड बेंड बेंड, लुक एट इट एंड बेंड, यस। हाँ, दैट्स इट, समझे? ओके।
हाँ ठीक
तो
है।
वो थोड़ा उसे कहना था, अरे दा, अरे बिंदा। So, you know, see
हाँ
what rhythm your tabalchi gives you.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, we will
हाँ,
work this
तो
out.
एक, पहला तो नगारा हुआ,
हाँ,
देन सेकेंडली आपकी ढोलकिया जो भी है वो हुआ, वो आके खड़ा रहता, फिर वो
खड़ा रहता है
बजाएगा
जैसे वो
बजाएगा।
पंजाबी लोग होते हैं ना, ढा 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 ढा।
हाँ,
हाँ,
देन थर्ड वन इज दिस वन। वो थोड़ा
पंजाबी
नजाकत से,
पंजाबी।
थोड़ा सा
हाँ
फ्लर्टेशन, ऐसे ऐसे, और फिर वो मजाक करके ऐसे बजाएगा, है ना?
हाँ हाँ
You have three characters here, but you need
हाँ।
one more.
Do we? I'm
Percussion,
asking.
Khanjira. That's,
Can,
but I
can,
don't know, after this we don't need. I don't
no,
think we
I
need.
तीन ड्रम्स को ही रहने दीजिए दीदी,
बहुत हो गया, okay?
है ना?
Then at the most, if you want, depending on what you are,
शहनाई।
हाँ, so उसमें शहनाई के है ना, वो निकलेगा, यहाँ से वो निकलेगा, क्रॉस फीट, ता 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 ता, you know, something like that.
ओ देखिए।
हम्म हम्म
हाँ,
हम्म हाँ,
ता 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 ता
ये
ता
सिंपल
ता
है।
ता 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 ता
हाँ
ता।
हाँ, अभी अभी बजाइए, वो यही रहेगा, तो ऊपर नहीं जाएगा इतना, ये
हम्म
मुंह के सामने रहेगा ना, वो
हम्म
ऐसे बजाते हैं ना, ये,
हम्म
और हाथ थोड़े से दूर, स्टैगर्ड लाइक दिस, है ना, स्टैगर्ड लाइक दिस, और मुंह
हम्म।
के सामने, तो मुंह के सामने, ये बहुत ऊपर हुआ, सीधा सीधा। शहनाई तो बजाते, एक्चुअली शहनाई तो ऐसे बजाते,
हाँ,
बट यू कैन,
शहनाई तो ऐसे बजाते
हाँ,
हैं।
but you can do this, you know, the same level as your mouth.
हम्म
Okay, yours,
हम्म
me, it looks staggered, but
हम्म।
maybe you're not doing it. You know, I don't know, but यहाँ यहाँ आएगा, ठीक है? हाँ, ये, और वो बजेंगे ना वो, जी,
ये
वो
ये
एयर, हाँ हाँ, तो ये थोड़ा दूर रखे, बिकॉज शहनाई लंबी होती है। हाँ, ठीक है, हाँ, okay.
ठीक
So you have these four characters. We'll work on their body language next time, you
है।
know.
यस,
But for now, uh,
there's a lot of homework to be done, and
yeah.
fortunately my musicians are coming tomorrow in the morning.
Okay.
They're coming at 8 o'clock in the morning, so
Hmm.
I will make them do this part only,
Just this part, yes.
just
Just,
this part, till
yes,
from the ball to the
yes,
coming of the 3 or 4 musicians. That's
yes,
it.
yes.
ठीक है दीदी?
Just one last thing with the musicians, I'm telling you, never rush gestures. Okay? Whatever natural pause, chahiye, example, example. Example is, let's say you did dha dha. ये natural pause है. Dha dha. That doesn't make an impact. धा धा हुआ, ऑडियंस ने देखा, अब ऑडियंस ने देखा, धा धा, ऑडियंस ने नहीं देखा। ओके, इन अदर वर्ड्स, जब म्यूजिक की पेस करेंगे ना, हाउ यू पेस इट आउट, आप जो भी जेस्चर्स उनसे करवाएंगे म्यूजिक में, उसमें आप नेचुरल इंटरवल्स रखना, पॉजेस, रादर इंटरवल नहीं है, बट लाइक 1 सेकेंड 2 सेकेंड ऐसे ही होते हैं, ज्यादा नहीं होते, बट जहां आपको जिस तरह नॉर्मली आप कहेंगे ना, उससे थोड़ा सा एक, आई डोंट कांट एक्सप्लेन दिस टू यू, बट देर इज ए वेरी फाइन बैलेंस बिटवीन, जैसे हम रोज करते हैं
देखिए
वैसे।
दीदी, एक जो आप कह रही हैं वो, जो पुराने जमाने में जैसे सिद्धेश्वरी देवी जी गाती थी, है ना?
हाँ हाँ हाँ
तो
हाँ हाँ।
उन्होंने कुछ मदमाती चली, हाँ,
हम्म
मधुमाती चली। हाँ,
हम्म,
उस जैसे कंप्यूटर में 1 सेकंड के बाद वो डिफरेंस आ जाता है ताल में।
हम्म, हाँ
कंप्यूटर
हाँ
जूम
हाँ
में 1 सेकंड
हाँ
लगता है, जैसे वो मात्रा का फर्क आ जाता है।
हाँ हाँ हाँ
तो
हाँ।
जो जो लेयरिंग होती थी, बोलता है, पर उसके पीछे जाता है।
आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, वो तो
तो
म्यूजिक में।
वो
तो वही।
सो इज इट, द क्वेश्चन आई एम आस्किंग, वो जो पॉज है, इन लोगों को उदाहरण देना है कि जब मैं कर लूं तो उसको भर थोड़ा सा करके फिर आप उसको रिपीट करिए।
नो, मैं कैसे बताऊं आपको? ओके, लेट मी टेक अनदर एग्जांपल, राइट? Let's say you do a butterfly. Okay, butterfly is flying, flying. वो देख रहा है, इधर उधर देख रहा है, उड़ता है, वहां वापस आता है हवा के झोंकों से, आता है आता है आता है। अब उसने it spotted a flower. Okay, he spotted a flower, but he spotted it yet. वहीं वो घूम रहा है। फिर वो डिसाइड करता है कि मैं भी इस पे निकलूंगा। So now, if he's in the process of sucking the nectar, तो वो धीरे धीरे होगा ना, उसका टाइम लगेगा ना, फिर वो पंखुड़ियां ऐसे करके उड़ जाएगा। सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज दैट वो एक नेचुरल
हाँ,
लाइन ऑफ टाइम है।
हाँ,
ये 99.9% of the dancers don't understand that. They end up doing gestures, okay, also abhinaya, but there is this incredible fine thing about time,
हम्म,
in especially in telling stories, है ना? तो वो it's very important to get it right, to do the to make it ideally, जैसे होना चाहिए।
जैसे ऑल्सो इट अलाउज, जो आप पॉजेस कह रही हैं और
हाँ।
टाइमिंग कह रही हैं, अगर आपको उस धागे से जो आपकी बॉडी कर रही है,
हम्म
उस धागे से जो लोग रस स्वादन करना चाहते हैं,
हम्म हम्म
तो एक कम्युनिकेशन टाइम उन तक पहुंचने के लिए भी होता है। आई मीन, मैं
द
आपका बात सुनकर आई एम
करेक्ट
रिस्पॉन्डिंग कि
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
वो जो रस रस मैंने बनाया, अब रस को पहुंचने के लिए भी तो टाइम चाहिए, वहां तक
हाँ
पहुंचने के लिए।
हाँ। और आप उसी कैरेक्टर में है। यू
आप
नॉट
उसी कैरेक्टर में
यू
हैं, तो आपको
यू
एक जगह
हाँ
पॉज करना पड़ेगा, जिससे
हाँ
कि वो पहुंचे रसवादन के लिए। तब तब जाकर आप दूसरे वाले पे ओवरलैप करेंगे।
दैट
एम आई
इज राइट।
करेक्ट?
यू करेक्ट, बट दिस व्हाट विल हैपन नवीना, ये जो नॉलेज है ना, वो इंटुइटिवली आ जाएगा।
हाँ,
इस
मतलब वो ये वही बात है ना, जो हम लोग अभी
हाँ
कंपन की बात कर रहे थे।
हाँ हाँ। नहीं, वो प्रैक्टिस की बात है, वो हिलाने के बदन हिलाने की बात है।
नहीं,
दैट इज
व्हाट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि ये
मसल
भी जो
कंट्रोल।
बात है ना, जो आपने महाराज जी का ऐसे देखा कि टाइट ऐसे है,
हाँ हाँ हाँ
इतना
हाँ।
रियाज करा, इतना रियाज किया, तो जो आप कह रही हैं, अगर मैं दिमाग में वो चीज बार बार लाऊं, तो शायद
हाँ।
वो प्रसाद थोड़ा सा मैं खा पाऊं,
नहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल। सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, दिस टाइमिंग थिंग, अब मैं इसलिए बता रही हूँ, आई कीप ऑन टेलिंग यू दिस बिकॉज यू विल गेट इट, and then you will do it yourself without my saying anything. You understand? So you have to reach that point. You will, but करके करके ही होगा, because you will somehow absorb it, you know,
राइट,
and
राइट,
it will happen. But I am telling you, most dancers don't know this, and they don't do it that way. You know, you. That's why one way to explain that is to you live the character. Then आप really butterfly बनो. आपका हाथ truly is a butterfly. It's not just your hand. That's why I keep on saying, let your hand speak. Don't speak. Don't speak here. Hand speak. You know. So hand does speak. Even without mudras, it speaks.
जैसे आपने अभी ये कहा।
Yes. हाँ. हाँ, ये है ना, ये इट जस्ट स्पीक्स।
ये क्या हुआ?
हाँ,
सच में हुआ?
हाँ, कुछ नहीं किया, हाथ यहाँ से उठा के यहाँ रखा और कुछ नहीं किया, बट उसमें ही अभी ये जो टाइम है ना, क्या हुआ, देखो हाथ चल रहा है, यू नो, इसमें दैट इज व्हाट इज, ये क्या हुआ। अभी मैं जेस्चर डांस का सिखाऊंगी, व्हाट हैपेंड, ठीक है,
हम्म,
क्या हुआ, क्या हुआ, और भरतनाट्यम में करेंगे, क्या हुआ,
हाँ।
समझे। हाँ, ठीक है, इट्स अ वेरी स्टाइलाइज्ड
पर मैं अगर
मगर यही बात आप कह सकती हैं, क्या हुआ, यू डोंट नीड एनी ऑफ दैट, यू अंडरस्टैंड।
इशारे
सो
में बात होती है ना।
हाँ, सो जैसे आपकी ठुमरी की बात आप कर रहे हैं, उसमें कितने बारीक बारीक नाजुक नाजुक जो एक फीलिंग्स उसमें बह जाते हैं, गाने में, जैसे वो गाती हैं उसमें, उसी तरह हाथ हमारे बहने चाहिए,
हम्म,
है ना। तो
हम्म।
वो धीरे धीरे वो आ जाएगा, दिस जस्ट sort of sharing what I have
Because
figured.
I think the only way it is जैसे आप मुझे बताती हैं and I go into the riyaz of it, and with my musician. But then the regularity of the classes and the riyaz have to be really welded together. वरना वो
Yes.
बनता नहीं है. It's not for any stage performance. आपके अंदर आना चाहिए वो organically.
If you can have rehearsals a week after you have had a class with me, it might be useful to you, or end of that week. So let's say we have a class at Monday, I'm just taking an example, but you don't meet them before the weekend, yeah, following
हाँ, तो
Monday.
usually it is on Saturday, Sunday, Didi. They are coming
Correct.
tomorrow because it's my birthday, so that's why they're coming tomorrow.
Okay, okay, okay.
Otherwise we meet on Saturday, Sunday. But
Okay.
and also the musician, the singer actually, he's very
Ah,
busy. So now should we stop the recording, Didi?